The latest glimpse of Fire Emblem Three Houses came in the form of an introductory video welcoming the Blue Lions into the fold. While fans have known about the Blue Lions since the game was announced, and have been getting information from the Japanese advertising for the game, this tidbit is a welcome addition to the hype train. While new ironclad details were sparse, we got a sample of some of the American voices for a handful of Blue Lions characters. Beyond bite-sized character bios, minor likes and dislikes, and the aforementioned voices, lies further questions however, as well as the most intriguing part of the trailer. At the tail end of the video, Dimitri, the house leader of the Blue Lions, and this trailer's narrator, said the following.
The Blue Lions walk the true path of justice.
Now this stance and self-image makes sense, as the Holy Kingdom of Fargus values chivalry and honor above most other things, but this statement has far darker implications than at first perceived. If it weren't for the E3 2019 trailer in which we learned about the 5-year time skip present in Three Houses' narrative, this soundbite from Dimitri would be just that, a soundbite. But when we consider that trailer, we learn that it may be so much more. Edelgard Ronresvelg is the house leader of the Black Eagles and the next in line to claim the title of Emperor of the Adrestian Empire. She is a stoic and strategically minded leader with an interesting stance on Fodlan's symbols of power, the crests. She believes the crests are the root of Fodlan's problems, and this is diametrically opposite to what most, if not all, nobles think about these relics. However, this is not necessarily the focus of this video, but rather the first layer of a multi-layered speculation cake. In the E3 2019 trailer, after Edelgard's awesome post-time skip look is unveiled, she says the following.
Still, we have no choice but to eliminate those who cling to unreasonable ideas of justice.
Now, this statement was at the time seemingly unprompted. We had no clue who she was talking about. Could it be the other nations, the enemies of the Church of Saros, or even that very religious order that brought peace to the land in the first place? It was anyone's best guess. Now we can make a bit of a better inference thanks to Dimitri's statement about the Blue Lions walking the true path of justice. It's that word, justice, that makes this statement so impactful and crucial to the structural integrity of our speculation cake. Oh yes, we've just added the first layer. Could it be that the Holy Kingdom of Fargus sees themselves as the America of the continent of Fodlan in a sense, a nation which feels the need to define, dispense, and carry out justice as they see fit? While we can't declare this for certain, there are certain allusions to this being the case. For example, in the very same E3 trailer, a very angry and combat-worn Dimitri shouts the orders,
Kill every last one of them!
Now, he could be talking about anyone, and the orders aren't the sole focus of this soundbite, but rather the way he gives those orders. Dimitri is angry, hateful even. This take no prisoners attitude is dangerous, and it could represent one of two things. The first possibility is that this is how Dimitri was taught to think by his family and fellow Fargus nobles. If this is a way of thinking that is deeply ingrained in their way of life, it's no wonder Edelgard believes their idea of justice is indeed unreasonable. The second, and more viable possibility is that Dimitri's sense of justice has been warped, twisted. I want to be very careful about my phrasing here because it's not necessarily Dimitri who twisted it. Of course it very well could be, but what if an external catalyst warped the prince's view of justice and made it an unreasonable one? The antagonists of Three Houses are a group called Those Who Slither in the Dark. Yeah, they're as creepy as they sound. Their official description describes them as a mysterious group who has set into motion a plan of sorts. Their leader, Thelos, is described as someone who works in the shadows in order to accomplish a mysterious plan. One half of his duo of lieutenants is an old mage named Solon, who uses cunning tactics and methods to accomplish his goals. Combine what we know about these antagonists with a name that evokes all the right imagery, and we have that potential catalyst. The ones who pushed Dimitri over the edge and made him pursue that warped, unreasonable form of justice with such unrelenting fervor. Now we know from Dimitri's own character description that while he seems like a charming and kind young man, at the surface, a dark shadow looms over his head. Could that dark shadow be the way he was raised to think about the world? Or could it be something that his enemies will uncover and subversively exploit? Given the nature of those who slither in the dark and the means they use to achieve their goals, I think the latter is far more likely. Could it be then that Dimitri was tricked, fooled, bamboozled into thinking his classmates wronged him in an egregious and unforgivable way? One that warranted violence? Or even war? Whatever this event is that turned Dimitri so cold, is also likely the same event which causes him to lose his eye. In the E3 trailer, post-time skip Edelgard looks poised, refined, and as focused as ever. Claude is rocking some rad sideburns and that same kind voice he has as a student. But Dimitri looks worn, broken, and even betrayed. Unfortunately for our blonde prince, it truly does look as if Dimitri has had the worst of things since everyone's time at the Officers' Academy. The connections are all there, right in front of us, just waiting to be made. The icing is on the cake. Dimitri believes the Blue Lions walk the true path of justice, but that sense of justice has been warped through manipulation as his enemies exploit his looming shadow to ignite all-out war across Fodlan. Edelgard, knowing her place as leader of the Imperial Army, seeks to squelch the raging flame that is her former classmate. Will these speculations come to fruition, or am I no more than a raving lunatic with a corkboard, thumbtacks, and yarn? Please let me know in the comments down below. Personally, I'm just excited to find out.